Well, hello and welcome back. How's that for a form cut for you? We are restarting exactly where we left off. You might be thinking it's not exactly because the field looks a little different because it's almost all tedded now, but you know what I mean. By exactly where we left off, I mean figuratively where we left off. We are going to be doing a little bit of raking here, and then I'm going to go get the baler and get some of the bales done. We won't bale the whole thing today, I don't think. This is not what I would recommend the way to do it, but we're backwards. And because of where the worker is with the tedder, I would rather get something done than nothing. So what I'm trying to do is save about a rake's width on the other side. So we'll turn around and make this into a windrow with the rake's width coming down the other side. So anyways, welcome back to Calm Lands map. I've had somebody ask 2 episodes in a row what the map is. I'm pretty sure I say it pretty much every time, but this map is called Calm Lands, and it is available in the in-game mod hub. I have not really altered the map itself, but I did build this farm. Calm Lands is a map with a wide open fields, and so I made it into my own little world here, and you're getting to experience it. It's my own little world with Case IH, vintage Case IH equipment, and a dairy farm. Cows are right there in that field, and we have some calves and heifers across the road, and we're really enjoying it. I've been really enjoying playing, and been getting good comments pretty much through the whole series, so I think other people are enjoying watching it, and I appreciate anybody that clicks on the video and stays around for a little while. See how we run our farm. So this is going to be our biggest hay bale harvest that we have had in a long time. We had baled, I think it was 3 wagons worth 2 years ago, 2 in-game years ago, and so we didn't need to bale hay last year, but this was a arable crop last year, and I decided to... What is that guy doing down there? What are you doing? You didn't complete your task, you just went the wrong way. Bruh, killing me. So anyways, we decided to turn it into a hayfield. I will occasionally get silage out of this field as well. Oh, you messed up my windrow. Bro! Can't get good help around here, I swear. I had a nice headland around the outside. That's what I'm whining about. Why? Don't do this. If you're ever tedding in real life, don't do what I just did. Turn the tedder off and pick it up when you reverse. Okay, anyways. Alright, so hopefully he will have enough common sense to turn around. No, keep going. To turn around and come back and get this middle row done. So, anyways. Where was I? What was I whining about? I'm sure it was something related to making hay. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get another couple windrows good to go, and then I will bring the baler down, just because I like to show you guys all the parts of the process, even if I have to jump cut or whatever, because Farm Sim, for those of you that maybe don't, I don't know why you're watching this if you don't play it, but maybe there's people who are just like, I don't know, kind of interesting, or maybe some of you play an older version of the game and you want to see how 22 is, or you know, whatever. But if you play this game, you know jobs just take longer than you think. You're like, oh, it's just making hay. That won't be bad. I'll be able to do that in half an hour, and then before you know it, you're like, okay, it took 25 minutes to mow it. Now it's going to take another 20 minutes to ted it. It's going to take another 20 minutes to rake it. And it's going to take another 35, 40, 45 minutes to bale it. Like, you're talking about almost a 3-hour commitment to do this virtual job. And now they think they're done. Oh my gosh. And I can't put this on a worker, I don't believe. They'll just go straight. And because I'm doing these curved windrows, that's not going to work. So I'll just get to the end of the field here, and then I'll finish that tedding on my own. And we'll do these 3 windrows with the baler just so I can show you guys how that looks. I know if you watched the last episode, you saw me baling straw, and it's really not that different of a process, but it's still fun. Maybe not. Was that the last episode or 2 episodes ago? It all starts to run together after a while, I'll be honest. Farm work is farm work. It all runs together. I hope this wasn't a wasted pass. I mean, kind of feels like it, but once we get the baler down here, we'll be glad we took the time to rake it. Alright. I'm just going to park this here for the time being. We'll deal with that later. Sorry, I'm tabbing. Tabberson. Okay, so I think we will get... No, don't ruin... See, I was mad at the AI worker for ruining my headland, but now I'm ruining it too. So there's this little bit here, and then there's that little bit in the middle. Man, when I made this field, in my defense, you guys are probably thinking, what drunken idiot made this field? In my defense, when I made this field, I don't know. I didn't think it would be this crooked. I didn't want all the fields to be a perfect square. And in my attempt to not make it a perfect square, I made it a shape that defies geometric description. It is, in a word, wonky. Because it curves down around it. It's kind of shaped like that because of where the cows are. It's kind of shaped like that because I don't know why I flared it at this end. If I just kept it skinny and down along the lower edge, it would have been fine. But I had to get cute with it, so... You know what, we're not going to need to TED anymore, so I'll just go ahead and run this home. Up here on the left, you'll see our soybean fields. The big one is looking real crispy. The upper field, I forgot, and it has weeds. So we either have to spray it with herbicide or just take the hit, because we're not keeping those beans. Those are just purely to sell for profit. So let's get this in here. I'm so glad this worked, that the M was able to run it. That wide front end M, it's just, or I guess it's technically an MTA, but I like it. I like that little tractor. To be fair, the only tractor, the only tractor I didn't like on this farm, I've already gotten rid of it. Oh, about the straw. We're not taking that with us. So let's... The only tractor on this save that I did not like was a little utility tractor. And to be fair, it wasn't even the tractor's fault. It was just not a great mod. And I don't know enough about modding to fix it. Whoa. And it was early in the save, so I had to use it for a lot of jobs, and it just wasn't great for a lot of jobs. It would have been fine if the only thing I used it I so wish I could just pick up the hitch and move that. That's what I would do in real life, like no joke. It's easier to move an empty hay wagon than it is to back up a baler, without a doubt. So this needs, all this equipment I need to deal with, to be honest. I need to organize it better. I'm super disappointed in that storage down there. Super disappointed. Because the posts are too close for most regular size equipment. So you just can't put most things in it. I park a couple trucks down there. That's about it. Alright. I know this is moderate cheating, but gosh. You see that? I can't believe how small the node is on that hitch. There it is. Let's go. Alright, this is going to be a load of hay and 2 bales of straw. I continue to use the worst possible tractor for hay baling. Not because of the power, but because I have cab tractors. This would be terrible to use to bale hay because you would get lots of chaff in your back and neck and be hot, sticky, gross. But it's farm sim and we don't have to deal with any of those things, so sorry. I want this. And we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of hay baling. Okay, I apparently turned off the auto load operating position. When I hit B to try to get the baler going, I inadvertently turned off the wagon. But now we're good. Now we've got both going. And I seem to be driving straight enough to get the majority of this windrow. Why are the bales all falling off? This is not what it's supposed to do. They're supposed to get to the top of the tray there and then get sucked up onto the wagon. Not fall on the ground first. That is so funny. Oh, man. But I'll tell you, we're moving right along making this hay. We are moving along. I do like that sound for some reason. Kind of reminds me of working the railroad. Not that I ever did that, but just makes me think of what it would be like to work the railroad. So I'm going to borrow the neighbor's ground here for a minute and get this turned around. Alright, if you guys are sticking around with me, you're at the 14-minute mark. Here's what I would love to hear from you guys. What would you like to see me still accomplish with this farm before we move on? It's going to be time to move on here soon. We're winding down the main goals we wanted. You know, we wanted to have our own calves basically come of age on the farm. We wanted to expand the fields and try different crops. We've done a whole bunch of that stuff. We got our farm out of debt, so we're no longer in debt. I don't know that we ever really were on this farm because we started with such affordable equipment. But if you have ideas for something that you'd like to see us get accomplished before I move on, please leave that as a comment down below. Um, I have a few more ideas in terms of things that I want to do, just to, because it's easy to keep playing, right? It's not hard to keep playing. But if there's something that you're thinking like this would be a killer idea, we should 100% do this, I'd love to hear that from you. And if you don't have ideas on what to do, but you still want to leave a comment, I'd love to hear thoughts, impressions, ideas about the series overall. And I'm refining the concepts that I have for the next series. Actually, the main problem I have is that right now we have these two going. So, you know, we want to replace them with two others, but I have about 8 ideas in my head. So deciding what are the two to go with is kind of our task at this point. But I'm certainly enjoying this one. This is probably the most enjoyable farm sim save I've ever had on any, going way back to 15. I played 15 on a laptop. I played 19. I played 17 on the Xbox. And then for 19, I built a gaming computer, not just for that game. I actually built it largely to play PUBG, which is a shooter. But when I did that, I realized, oh, now I can get all those cool mods for Farm Sim. Let's try it. And ever since I started monkeying around with mods, this game has taken up a much more significant part of my life than I ever anticipated. It's a big deal, and I started this channel and whatnot largely because it's such a good and fun and relaxing game. And I imagine you're watching this video because you can relate. So I'm going to tab over to the rake. And we are going to actually head down to the bottom of the field and do this the right way. It's going to be a little bit of a mess, but this first pass is going to be basically re-raking. Well, maybe not that much, but we just have to do it. We'll just scoot that over a little bit. We're gonna have to fix this end up here anyways, so we'll spin it around and head on back. We'll do a couple more passes here. You guys got to see the raking and the baling, and I'm not sure, next episode we'll probably do a little bit more of the same, but I'll try to see if there's something I can do to mix it up for you. I know this is a big part of running a dairy farm, though, so I would be remiss if I completely skipped bringing in hay. I mean, it's just it's a major part of what makes a dairy farm a dairy farm. You gotta feed the cows in the winter months, and hay and silage are how you do that. They can't be on pasture all year. In terms of the climate, you know, I know we've talked a little bit about the fact that this Calmlands map is made with a European base, but I think it is very similar in look and feel to some parts of the Midwest, and so in my mind it's a sort of southern Ohio, southern Indiana kind of area, especially the hillier parts of southern Ohio that have more Appalachian topography. I think this farm fits right into that area. So that's how I put it in my head, and you guys are absolutely free to disagree with my decision, but I think a Case IH farm set in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s in southern Ohio does make sense here. Alright, we'll spin this around and head on back. Now we'll be making a brand new windrow. So this is how it should look. Not that extra spacing I was doing up on the top half. So now we can keep our right wheel of the rake on the outside of the cut of the tedded hay, and that's going to carry it all one rake width to the left. And then when we get to the far end, we'll put our foot on the left brake, slow it down, and spin around to the left so we can make it nice and tidy so that the baler doesn't have to chase down the windrow. We don't want the baler driver to have to do any crazy driving. We want the baler driver to just be able to go up and down these windrows nice and easy. On the game, we don't have anybody on the wagon because the game has auto load, but in reality, a wagon like that, you have to have a man standing back there. And you don't want to be spinning all around with your baler on account of a poorly done windrow. So like this right here. Slow it down, turn it in on itself. And now we come back up like that. Does that make sense? And now we're good to go. Now we're getting the other half of the windrow. And these are going to make for real nice bales. We'll be able to go nice and slow with the baler, feed it all in, and you know, we're making a bale pretty frequently with windrows this size. This is good yield on the grass because we took good care of the grass, and we're not missing stuff here. We're not missing patches. We're getting good coverage. This should make. We'll probably have, I think I guessed last time, something like at least three, maybe 4 loads of hay. And if you saw that wagon, I think we're pretty close to a load already, and we've only done the top 3 windrows. So I like my prediction at 3.5. That still feels right to me. So we're gonna get down to the end here. Now this is where, in a perfect world, that headland would stay. So I would get this to about here, and then actually shut the rake off, do our little button hook turn, and then in this empty space between the windrow, between the headland and the next windrow, I would turn it back on right here. Kind of like so. I think we took our screenshot for the last episode on this tractor, so might have to snag one with the baler here in just a second. I'm going to tab over to the baler. Is that down still? Yes, it is. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take this headland off here. That'll make the windrows on the end so much easier. I should have done this to start with. And I'm going to start down this outside windrow. Oh no. No. We can't have a hot mess for the screenshot. Okay. Alright. Hay, making hay on the hillside. Hopefully I'll be able to do something with that. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for checking out the episode. I will see you in the next one. We'll probably still be doing stuff with hay. I got to be honest. See you then. Bye for now.